Hey there, it's Jameson with St. Croix 40, and we're bringing you another cool tip for winter ultramarathons. Now, one of the requirements when you're out there in the cold is keeping your water from freezing. And this is a tip that I learned from my friend Jeff Rock, and I'm sure he would very quickly say that he got this tip from others in the winter ultra world. So we're going to share it with you today, and it's a nice, cheap, and easy way for you to keep your water warm when you're out in the freezing cold. Let's get to it. So when you're trying to keep your water warm, you have a few different options. This is the granddaddy of them all. This is an insulated Hydro Flask thermos. This thing will keep your water nice and warm down to really cold temperatures, but this thing is heavy. You do not want to carry this thing for 80, 135, even 40 miles. If you have to, this will work great, but these things are super heavy. So we're going to put this aside for now, and we're going to go with something much, much lighter. Now, all of us have Nalgene bottles lying around. These things, you can get them relatively inexpensively at most of the major outdoor sports retailers and Target and Walmart, etc. These things have 32 ounces of water, and if you keep them insulated, they're going to last for a long time, even in really frigid cold temperatures. And there's a really neat hack that you can do to create a simple insulated container for these Nalgene bottles that is super cheap, and you can do it at home, and that's what we're going to show you here today. So we're going to be creating one of these here using Reflectix and hockey tape. So let's talk about how we do this here. So here's what you're going to need to make this happen. You're going to need a roll of Reflectix insulation. You can get this at Home Depot or any hardware store. It's just a basic roll of insulating material that's got a shiny foil surface on the outside, and it works really well for keeping heat inside whatever you're trying to do. For this, we're only going to need about a piece about this big, and in addition, to put it all together, I like to use hockey tape. Now, hockey tape is a fabric-based tape, so it's got a little bit of a stretch to it, and so it makes it really easy to work with when you're trying to work with something that's pliable like Reflectix here. So, and then a Sharpie and some scissors, and that's all we're going to need here to make this happen. All right, so to start with, the first thing we need to do is form our base. So to do that, we're going to lay out our Reflectix here. We're going to pick a little corner of it, and we're going to take a Sharpie here, and we're going to run around the outside edge. Now you want to make sure you go a little bit beyond the outside of the Nalgene bottle, because this needs to extend a little bit farther than the edge of the bottle. So there you go, we got a nice circle cut out there. We're going to go ahead and cut that out here of our Reflectix. So now we have our base. So this is going to form the base of our container. Next step here, we need to create the first wraparound. So we're going to take our Reflectix here, and we're going to wrap it around the bottle until the edge just meets. Right there you can see where the edge just meets. There is where we're going to mark. I'm going to find the good edge there to join on. And Reflectix has a nice, there's these nice grooves in it, so it's easy to figure out where to cut. And as for height, we're going to go up to about the top of the bottle here, so about right up in here. All right, so let's cut out this piece, and this is just going to be a rectangular piece that we're going to wrap around. All right, so here we have our piece that's going to wrap around like that. See, it wraps around nicely there. So now this is when we're going to start grabbing our hockey tape. We're going to start putting some of this together. Hockey tape is nice and sticky, but again, it's also kind of flexible. It's got some stretch to it, so it's really nice to work with in these situations. Cut off a little piece here. tape on here like this. I'm going to go a little bit around the edge on the bottom here. A little tricky to get it lined up there, right there. We'll wrap this around the inside here. And take another little piece, and you can see this wasn't totally even, but it's not going to matter. You're making a lid for it, so it's not really going to be a big deal. And I usually find it's best with hockey tape. Lay out a piece that you want on a table, cut it with some scissors because it does not really tear. It's a very strong tape. Bring this around like this. And wrap that around. Now we've got our nice seam here, and that's nice and tight. Then we're going to take our bottom here, and we're going to tape that along here. So to do that, we're going to take a nice long piece of tape here. I've never been known for being the best at arts and crafts, so I'm sure there are people out there who could design this probably a little bit better. If you have some other ideas about how best to do this, or how best to lay out all the different pieces of tape, leave those in the comments below. I'm sure others would love to know. Like I said, I'm not an arts and crafts guy, so we're just making do with what we got. And what I can do. And I'm leaving a little bit of a lip here on this tape when I'm putting it in so that I can insert the bottom piece and then attach to it. Attach like that. I'm going to take our bottom here, I'm going to put it right in there and fold the tape down over it so that we create a floor. And then I always like to do a couple pieces of tape around to support it across and in two directions. Like that. Another piece going the other direction. There we go. Here is your first half of your insulated container. Fits in there just nicely. Now we need to make the lid. Now the key with the lid is that we need to make the lid so that it is bigger than the circumference of this. And so we're going to set aside our Nalgene for now because this is no longer our model. This is now our model we're going to base things off of. So we're going to go back to our Reflectix here. We're going to set this down here. Either side is fine. And we are going to draw another circle. I'm going to try and get as close as I can to the edge of the Reflectix here so I'm not wasting material. And again, drawing a circle that is bigger than the Reflectix, or bigger than the piece here that we already have, so that we get a nice big lid on top. So there's our piece there. Go ahead and cut that out. All right. So now we've got our lid. You can see that's going to be bigger than this piece here. And so this is going to allow us to then create another wrap around this, the same way we did with this, in order to create our lid for the top. So now we're going to lay this out on top here, like this, and we're going to roll this just like we did with the Nalgene bottle, and sure enough, I got it right on this line here where I want to be. So you can see right there, this is right where I cut that circle actually ended up being perfect. So this line right there, this is going to be our line. It's a little bit over, but it should be fine. Again, this doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just gonna mark that here. And then for height, it doesn't actually need to be too big, because as you can see here, the Nalgene is gonna stick in here, and then the lid only needs to come down about an inch or so onto this. So we only need about this much height on the top piece. So that puts us, if we line it up here, so about an inch there, puts us about right here. And just to double check our wrapping here, yep, the wrapping looks good. So now we're going to cut out this rectangle here. And I'll just kind of do a little bit of marking here, just so now we have enough material here to make our lid to go around, just like that. So once again, we'll grab our hockey tape here. Lay this out. Lay it halfway across here. Like that. Roll this up. We've got a little spot to stick it here. Stick it to, and then wrap around. So we end up with a seam like this. Okay? As you can see, this fits right on over our Nalgene bottle here. Nice and snug. Now all we have to do is attach our lid here. We're going to do that the same way we did on the bottom. We're going to take some hockey tape here, a couple different strips, lay it out like this, so we're leaving a little bit of a gap for our lid to go into. Nice size piece here. Okay. Roll on there, but that doesn't matter. Just more tape. So now we've got that. Take our lid and just slide it right into here. And fold the edges down over it. And then once again, just like on the top, or on the bottom, we are going to do a little bit of supporting tape to keep everything in place. Just to make sure everything is going to stay nice and secure there. All right. And then sometimes you got to fiddle with your little handle here on the Nalgenes. Some people just cut these off. You can certainly cut them off. I just kind of start when I'm putting it in. I tuck that in first so that it has somewhere to go. And just slide this all the way around. Here you go. This insulated water container will keep your water warm down to, I've had these out in anywhere from -10 Fahrenheit, -11 or 15 Fahrenheit, temperatures like that. And this has worked great, and the water stayed warm and liquid. One big important thing though is always make sure to store your water upside down, so from the lid, because water freezes from the top down. Just think about water on a lake. The top of the lake freezes underneath, you can still catch fish. It's the same thing in your insulated water containers. This is going to freeze, so you want the frozen water on the bottom of your water container. So always when you're riding, store this upside down. So, all right. So that's our tool tip for this year. Thank you so much for watching this kind of quick and dirty hack. These aren't attractive, but they get the job done. Look forward to seeing you out on the trail at St. Croix 40 or at other Winter Ultra events, and we hope that this will help you be more prepared and ready for any adventure that you're looking forward to in the cold, freezing snow. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you out there.